I created this video because this is one of the biggest patterns I see that keeps coaches stuck. And I want to help you break it now before it sabotages your business for another month, another quarter, or even another year. And I know that sounds crazy, but I know people that have been stuck in this cycle of changing and tweaking their niche and their offer for 4+ years, and that's why they still haven't made money. Yes, it's a real thing, and if you feel called out right now, let's change this. So here's the pattern. A coach starts their business, they pick a niche, they create an offer, and they write a beautiful I help statement. Then it feels hard because business has hard moments. It feels uncomfortable, and then they start not seeing instant results and getting that instant gratification that they want and that they saw in the marketing that will happen. And instead of leaning in and doing the real work that moves the needle, they decide to change their niche. They rewrite their I help statement, they tweak their offer, they feel aligned again, and they start again. And then the same thing happens again and again and again. This is a cycle that will keep you stuck forever, unless you recognize it and break it. Now let's be clear. Having a clear target audience, a strong I help statement, and a no-brainer offer is very important. I teach that and it matters a lot. But here is where so many coaches go wrong. They think that if they just have the perfect I help statement or the perfect niche or the perfect offer, then suddenly everything will click. They'll do a post and people will buy. They'll do a post and people will interact out of nowhere, and clients will just start come flooding in just because of the magical I help statement and this incredible offer where they are likely people pleasing and giving way too much away at a way underpriced offer, and they think that that's what's going to work. Okay, they think that sales will magically be easy, even though they haven't added any new skill set to that process, and they're not even making offers that often, and business will just feel effortless. And then that doesn't happen after the 2 weeks, the one post or the one launch, and they assume that they picked the wrong thing and then they change it. What they are avoiding though is the uncomfortable but necessary part of building a business. And it's going out and meeting ideal clients. It's putting yourself out there to be seen, to potentially be disliked, or to potentially be disagreed with. It's about showing those ideal clients that you can help them. It's about really showing them through your messaging, marketing, conversations, and branding though, that's going to move the needle. Not through just tweaking your I help statement and your bio for the 50th time this year. It's about all the other stuff, the messaging, the marketing, the conversations, the branding. It's about making offers to those clients consistently. That is what it's about. And that's what everyone avoids, especially if they don't get instant gratification from it. You might do it here and there a little bit, but if you don't consistently do it and do it well, because we are about the quality here, not just the quantity or the ticking it off our list, you actually have to be above average here and you have to learn these skill sets. It's just a part of business. If you don't do that, then you're going to find this experience a lot more difficult than it needs to be. This is the real work, and it is uncomfortable. It is so much easier to hide behind tweaking your niche and your I help statement and your offer than it is to show up and be seen and sell. I'd much rather just change my I help statement. And I say this with so much conviction because I was this person. I was the person that changed my I help statement, my ideal client, my niche 100 times. But guess what? I also really struggled to get my business off the ground during that period. And if I hadn't had done that, I would be even further along because I wouldn't have been in my own way for so long. And so I'm not fully against changing your niche, once or twice. And I think to a degree, everyone goes through this period. But if you're in a pattern and you're starting to get over it and you're wondering why, despite having felt so aligned for 5 minutes and having changed it again, things aren't changing, this is why. Okay? And here's the pain I want to link for you very clearly. And you might be like, why do you want to link pain to me, Sophia? Because I want you to get the lesson. Every single time you change your niche, your ideal client, or your I help statement, or your offer, you are hitting the reset button on your business progress. You are starting from scratch again because the audience you attracted before is potentially no longer your audience. You are starting to rebuild the trust with your audience again. You are starting to reposition your messaging. You are starting to rebuild your funnel and your sales process. And this is why your business is not growing, because you are spending so much more time behind the scenes, resetting things, rewriting things, redoing things, than actually just doing the uncomfortable stuff like meeting people, showing them you can help them, and making offers to them. And here's the thing, a confused mind will never buy. And if you are constantly changing things, your audience will be confused. If you are not building a brand, and a brand does not happen overnight, a brand is built through consistency and mastery and time and effort. If you don't have a brand, people can't trust you and then they can't buy from you. So to build a brand, you have to be consistent in your messaging, in your I help statement, in your offer, in your color scheme. And I'm not against changing these things or tweaking these things from time to time, or when you've truly outgrown them, or when you're going to have an up level. But if you haven't gotten the results and you're changing because you think that that's now going to change stuff without doing those things, you are mistaken. Okay? And this is why you're hitting the reset button, because instead of giving your chosen direction time to gain traction, time to build trust, and time to compound, you keep hitting the reset clock back to zero. That is what happens. No niche or I help statement will magically solve this for you, no matter how well it is worded, if you are not consistently doing the work that actually matters. And the reason you are doing this is because it's simply more comfortable. It is a procrastination task that makes you feel better because you are doing something that is business related. So it makes you feel productive, but it's not actually a money-making task. Like I said, they are important tasks. They are essential tasks, but the constantly changing it part is not essential and is not necessary in many cases, most of the time for most people, okay? So I want to be very clear. It is okay to change your niche or your offer or your messaging if there is a genuine reason to. Like, for example, you've given it your absolute all for a minimum of 60 days and you haven't just dabbled in that 60 days, but you've shown up every day for 60 days. If not more, ideally, or you've realized that you were on a certain path for the wrong reasons and it no longer feels congruent or aligned. For example, some people decide to become business coaches or to talk about money because they think that that's what's going to make them money. And then they realize through coming into, my program or through time or through conversations that they are not embodied or experienced in that topic. And so it's not going to work, no matter how amazing the offer or the niche or the I help statement is. And in that case, if that is you, then yes, you do want to change to a niche that you feel more confident and congruent in. So there needs to be experience and there needs to be embodiment. Your story, your situation, your circumstances need to match and reflect the outcome that you provide. So if you help people to lose weight, gain muscle, and become their fittest version of themselves, then that better be you. If you help people to make money, love money, feel good about money, then you better be making money consistently. If you are helping people to go from single to in a healthy, committed relationship, then you better likely be in a committed, healthy, and happy relationship. Right? It's really important that we have the embodiment and the experience through what we are teaching. So under those circumstances, of course, change your niche, because now that you know better, you can do better. But if that's not you and you're just making slight little tweaks all of the time or rewriting things all of the time, thinking now this magical order of the wording is going to change everything, then it's likely a comfort pattern that is just distracting you from doing the real uncomfortable things that your brain is trying to protect you from. Okay? So it is okay and normal to make small and smart tweaks as you go along, as you become, more educated and aware. It's okay to do that. But for most of the time, that is not what's happening. And if, you would know by now whether I'm speaking to you right now, or I'm not, okay? So please take the discernment here. I'm not against changing things. I've changed things many times, and sometimes it was absolutely necessary and relevant and positive. But many, many times, in particular in the start of my business, I was changing things so much and it consumed my entire bandwidth, and I just didn't grow because I was spending all of my time thinking and redoing and reworking and working behind the scenes of my business. Very comfortable, very fun, not helpful. All right. And I eventually just got sick of myself and saw the pattern and decided, yes, it was a decision, to move through that. Okay. Changing a word or two in your I help statement will not make you more money or grow your business if you're not doing the things that actually matter at the same time. So here's what I want you to understand. Success comes from doing the reps. It comes from consistency and doing so really well. That's the second thing. So it comes from consistency and it comes from doing the simple things well over time. So you need to pick a clear audience, create a clear offer, write a simple and strong I help statement. And then once you have that, I want you to go out and I want you to do the work, meet people, show value, make offers, repeat. That's what builds a coaching business, and a successful one too. Not endlessly tweaking your niche and your messaging every single week. So here is my challenge to you. Choose one audience, choose one offer, choose one I help statement, and commit to it for at least 60 days. And during that 60 days, do not change it. Do not overthink it. Do not restart it. If I were you, I wouldn't even go in with the intention of even considering changing it in 60 days. Go in with the energy of like, this is who I help now. This is my life's purpose and mission. And I'm not going to give up on these people. That should be the energy. Focus all of your energy on meeting people, showing those people you can help them, and making offers to them. Focus on becoming 1% better every day. That's the best use of your time. That's where the growth happens. And most people give up right before they get the results. You know, there's that image of this man chipping away in the mines, like trying to find the diamond. And then there's, you know, the other person that is, you know, behind also doing the same thing. And the bottom image of this guy is so close to the diamond, but he gives up right before. He's like, oh, I've been digging away forever. I'm so over it. I'm going back. And he was one little tick away from actually reaching the diamond. But because he gave up and he went back and he quit, he never received it. And then the other person's digging away and not giving up and going super fast and, you know, loving every moment. He's going to get the diamond. So you never know how close you are to that diamond. You will only know if you keep going. But if you keep restarting every single time, you will never know, because you have hit the reset button and you have to go right back to the beginning. If you do this and keep going, you will build momentum. You will build trust with your audience. You will learn what is resonating and what is not. You will develop mastery and confidence. And that is built not through learning, through thinking, through wishing, through hoping, or having things perfect. It is built through doing the reps. And everyone has to go through that journey of sometimes things working, sometimes not. And at the end of those 60 days, if you have genuinely done the work and it feels misaligned, then yes, we can assess and we can make the smart, necessary tweaks or changes. But if you keep changing before you've done the work, you're not addressing the root cause problem here, and you will never know. And you will stay stuck in this pattern until you get the lesson. And I am only telling you this because I care. I want to see you succeed, and I was in this trap in the beginning too. I barely know what my I help statement is now, right? Because it just doesn't really matter. Right? I know my audience, and I'm consistently putting myself in opportunities to meet them and show them I can help them and make offers to them. And that's why I make money. Not because of the perfect wording of my I help statement, but because I'm going out and building relationships with people. That's why I make money. I have coached so many clients who have struggled for months and years in this exact cycle. And the minute they chose one thing and stuck with it, even when that was very uncomfortable and they were faced with some harsh realities of what they now need to do and focus on, everything changed for them. They actually grew their audience. They actually signed more clients and they built sustainable income. And you can do the exact same thing, but only if you choose to commit and stay the course. So my invitation for you is pick your niche, finalize your offer, write your I help statement, and then don't look back. Just commit to it. Then go and do the real work that builds a thriving business. Meet people, show them you can help them, make offers. Do this and everything you want is on the other side of doing those reps. If you loved this episode, take a sec to screenshot it, share your thoughts on Instagram stories, and tag me at Sofia Rose Bernardi. Then send me the word gift and I will send you an exclusive client workshop of mine that supported my clients to make tens of thousands of dollars from that one training alone. And I'll do that as a thank you for taking the time to spread this podcast with me far and wide. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.